Hi, welcome to your notes on pages 39 to 41. So your first thing is going to be to get this copied into your notebook. And then from there, here we go. Our goal today is I can use the law of exponents. And then I'm going to shrink that so you can see it. And then if you were doing this without me here at school, I want you to pause my video and play the one here. It's a fun little song with the different laws of exponents. So pause. Okay, so hopefully you've now listened to the song and we will move on. So here's what the product rule says. First, we're going to go through this a long way. If you think about what 3 squared means, it means 3 times 3. And then this says 3 squared times 3 to the 5th power. So 3 to the 5th power means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And so you get, here's the first two, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many times, I'm going to shrink this so it's not taking up 3 lines here. How many times are you taking 3 times itself? Well, if you look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so that becomes 3 to the 7th power. Now, remember to make the exponent, I used control period, and then that shifts from exponent to base form. Let's try this one. If I have a to the 4th times a squared, I have a times a times a times a times, now I have my other two, a times a. So how many times am I multiplying a together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a to the 6th power. This one over here, I have n times n times n times n. So there are 3 n's here, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 1 n here. Remember, if it doesn't tell you the exponent is a 1. And so what do you have all together? N to the 4th. Oops, wrong button. N to the 4th. So then I want you to think about what you noticed here. And then this is going to be different based on the person, and we'll kind of do it in class. But what I would hope that you would notice here is that all you're really doing is you're counting the, I'm going to shrink this because I'm going to type more than that. So counting all the numbers, all the total numbers for the exponent. And so what that could really mean is when you're multiplying powers with the same base, you add the exponents. So we are going to use a to the m times a to the n equal, oh geez, that's kind of annoying, equals a to the m plus, I'm so sorry here, m plus n. And so when you're multiplying and they have the same base, so they have to have the same base, this had the same 3's, the same a's, the same n's, then all you have to do is you add the exponents. And so if you look here, 2 plus 5 was 7, 4 plus 2 was 6, 3 plus 1 was 4, and so you're just adding the exponents. Now what I would like for you to do is I want you to pause this video and I want you to click over here on the practice. It's going to take you to a link to where you will have the opportunity to practice a few of these before you move on to the quotient rule. So pause the video, and then when you're ready, come back for the quotient rule. Hi, welcome back. I hope you did well on that. Let's talk about what this is going to look like. So I'm going to try to remember to change the size of this before you guys have to do it. So if I have 3 to the 5th, divide by 3 to the 5th, then it's kind of like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 3's on top that I've multiplied together. And then I have 5 3's on the bottom. Now remember, every time you have the same thing on top of each other, it equals 1. So like 3 divided by 3 is 1. 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 So the only thing you have left in that one is 1. Like all of those 3's canceled. Let's try this one. So on the top, I have a times a times a times a, because there's 4 of them. I'm going to underline that so it kind of looks like a fraction. And then a times a. Let's see if I can flip that back to a little a. And then when you cross these out, those are gone, those are gone. So all you're left with is a squared, or a times a, and that is a to the second power. Keep hitting the wrong button. Let's try it over here. N times n times n. Divide by n. And then, oops, oh well. And then you would have one of these n's cross out and you would have 2 of them left. So this time what I want you to notice is you cancel out what is in common. And basically what that means you're doing is you're subtracting. If you look back up here, now this one's a little different because if you do just subtract the exponents, you get 5 minus 5. That equals 0. And we'll talk more about that later on. But if we look here, 4 minus 2 is 2. So a to the 4th divided by a squared is, so I had to pause, so I don't remember where I was at. So 4 minus 2 was 2, and then 3, and remember if there's not an exponent there, it's a 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So basically what you can do is you're subtracting the exponents. So when you're dividing, if they have the same base, you subtract the exponents. So this would look like this. A to the m divide by ooh, that's going to look ugly. So a to the m maybe it'll look less ugly if I do that, over a to the n equals this isn't working very well, equals a to the m minus n. So all we have to do is we're going to have the same base, we subtract the exponents. Okay. So again, click over here where it says practice, go there, practice the quotient rule a few times where you're subtracting the exponents, and then tune in to video number 2.